Welcome guys to a new deck build from this channel. Today we'll be covering my top 32 YCS deck build at the remote YCS. I got 23rd place, or no, 21st I believe. Due to tiebreakers, I had a topping record to make essentially top 8, but I was never going to make tiebreakers alone, which I already figured out. Fortunately, dodged out of top 16 for the fact failure, but yeah, so be it. I will be getting to play the card troop, everything like that. Um, so yeah, we'll be talking a bit about this deck. I just copied this list personally from Julian Khan. I think the list was pretty well. We liked it, and I will be talking about what I like specifically about this list. I chose to play it, of course. So thanks of course everybody for the support. Want to thank my friends. From Hootcake, from Team Erica, and also from Team Flipping DGs for helping me. Let's go over the profile, of course. Talk later about the extra deck. So for the main deck, of course, we have the 3 Metlov, we have the 3 Holy Soul, the 3 Daolong. It's pretty standard. The main change in this deck is because Rasen is hit to 1, you play far more on Metlov right now than you did do on the Rasen, of course. And also the big difference is with Holy Soul, it's you have far less fires in your deck. You have this plus the Ash Blossoms and essentially also the Rasen. But Rasen isn't really a fire in this deck. The reason for it is let's say for example you feel a fire in the dark for the Holy Soul, to 0. And you can feel the Rasen, you can never summon this out from anywhere. You cannot summon this from the deck. Because it's in your hand already stuck. So it comes to far more that you now play on the dark and the earth attributes to steal your opponent's cards. Because of the canine introduction, of course, you play a lot of more earths than you previously did. You essentially switch the fires for earths, but you cannot really include the Raz into your fire account because on turn 0, if you have the Raz in your hand, you can have a special summon it. It's only helpful if you want to summon Jiaolong during your own turn, so you can set up a rank 5. But for the rest, I really like it. Holy Susek is far less than it used to be, of course, due to the fire account. But stealing, of course, is still a mechanic. And it's still a strong disruption, in my opinion. That it's still worth to play, of course. And it's an easy level 5 engine. And the one Borger and the one Isvalius. Borger is just more of a pick. It's just of a utility card. I like that at 1. The draw effect, well, it looks strong on paper, it's not really. Then the 3 engine requirement spells. This deck wants to play as many monsters as it can be because of the attribute counts. So these spells are essentially the monsters within the spell form. Because Rota, of course, as Rasen, which is like fire, starts at anything except the monster that it targets, which converts it back into a monster. And Staker Saw also sort of does it by bouncing it back to you. So yeah, nothing really to say about this, just consistency cards and engine requirements. And then we already go to the cannon cards. So you play a very low count of Pegasus cards, and I feel like many people have been saying this, but this deck feels far more like a canine deck than a Pegasus deck, and that's also how I felt during the tournament. The canine cards felt far more better. Pegasus cards. And of course, if you go Holy Soul Fire, your opponent will Stavash, it's of course more insane. Jokel, then the Juna. I played only 2 Noroi, which I liked, and then the 2 Lupus, which you really like, and then the 1 Lantern. So the 3 Joker is standard because you have lots of level 5s because Izuna, the Jiaolong, and the Holy Sword level 5, so getting them out of your hand easier is always a big thing. Izuna to punish hand traps and can be enormous if you really wanted to. But also a great hand trap, which is you try to play a lot on like the bigger impact hand traps, and Isuna is definitely one of them. Then an Noroi, which is like weird because it's like stronger as like normal, in my opinion. But you have so many ways to search it. Also with case of K9, that I felt like 5 is the ideal number, which I agree with the list. And like the introduction of like additional lupus after YCS Bologna is like a really nice thing, because essentially, and this sounds really weird, but let's say for example you go normal summon Noroi, you don't really have that many level 5 extenders. Increasing them even by having an additional lupus, really nice. Lupus is in my opinion not never big, because let's for example you open it, you still summon it during your opponent's turn, get like a Typhon out, and the Typhon is still really crazy against it's Yomi in my opinion, because you can never really trigger like the Murkumo in the grave on the field, so it's not really for the reason that like let's say for example you attack with Typhon makes Zeus play. It's also just for the fact that you can like chill with Typhon on your end board, and the entire Mitsurugi engine is essentially that. They only have the count trap or like the trap that they can use, but you can just like take the Murkumo hostage by keeping the Typhon. And then the case of K9, this spell, I really liked it. It's just like searching, but like you search for your entire toolbox of cards. So if you need Noroi, you can search Noroi. If you need search Lantern, you can search Lantern. Even Lupus, if you shifter, for example, like it gave me lots of use. And also the second Lupus is helpful. Like if opponent tries to like banish your first Lupus, let's have a second Lupus up. Force release, yeah, liked it. Like you have the theory of like not playing the trap in the main deck, the Vanquish trap, which I did not do. I played the size, which I agree with. This going second has more applications than the trap, of course. So like not cutting this is like understandable. And then for the non-engine, the 3 Ash fire count, and it's just Ash. Kurolos, because we like this is one of the best Charmy decks. Bestials, this I agreed like the least with in my opinion. I didn't like the duels from that person, and like even the Magnum felt a bit iffy. But it still did some purpose, I guess, but in my opinion it did not enough. The Prosperity, which was crazy for me, and the Shifter, which was also like, I really like Shifter, so like this is just insane. But the Bestials are like the most underperformed for the deck, in my opinion. And for the extra deck, to rock, you don't really need more. Speed Soyuja. You have of course like the technical bridge on Vanquish to K9, for K9 to Vanquish, I mean. It never really came up for me that much. It only came up once, and I opted to go not for it because it was more risky. So yeah, you have it. I used it more during a match. I just tried to dig more like cards I needed. So like in one match I need to close a little bit against Malice, and I need to correct attributes which I couldn't fetch the normal way. I just used like a Mitsurugi to fetch the attributes for Borger, which it was a very weird game state which I was in. And I did it once to try to dig for Ash, which I grabbed, and very Gucci. 2 Rippers. I made the second one like once or twice, but it was really nice in that. Checks, which I really like. Werewolf, of course. Like this, I feel like you can cut 1 Ripper in my opinion. Do something else with. What else you would do? It's like I don't know a card that comes up more often than the second Ripper in my opinion. Maybe with more. Like personally, I was planning to go to Upburg for the regionals there, because I'm doing the World Race, of course. But the thing is, I couldn't go due to personal reasons, so I at last moment tried to play the remote YCS, and it did wonders. Then the Nash Knight package, like Nash Knight and Chaos Nash Knight, both really well. Like Nash Knight is just an insane card. Like sometimes you just stay on this and not even rank up into the chaos numbers. Then I played the Silent on the Arc. I understand the reason, and I heavily agree with this. This shit came up more for me than everything else. Like I the chaos number, like 104, like it's really strong, yes, I would agree. But for me, the chaos number 104 is more for like the spawn trap pop than anything else. Like the monster negate most people play around or something like that. But the Silent Hunter arc, being able to do attach like a futsu, like it's really insane. Like many people, like if you really know what you're doing with the deck, it's like I guess the Mitsurugi part. Like you try to suck them like the futsu up with Nashna because you cannot kick over futsu. Then they try to dodge repairs, stuff like that. Then on the follow up, try to attach with like the C101 is really huge for me. Like I've attached so many futsus with this, which I couldn't otherwise like really out that well. Because like all the lower Mitsurugi cards levels protect them from destruction, which this deck most of the time does. Then one time, which I already explained, Zeus, which is like really insane. Heroes. I should have made this once. I not even for like the Zeus play or anything, just to like pop the back row. But yeah, I misunderstood that like game state. But yeah, it only came up once. Don't spend your money on this if you don't really cannot afford it. It's most of the time not. Sorry. Token. Then Tripulia, 3 Meows. Tripulia, wonderful card. Meows, fuck Malice. Many people sided this against me. Like I had it twice that people sided this against me. I'm like, you know, like I blind scooped them game 1 and they sided this against me. I'm like, okay, sure, I did my combo and then I did Lantern and they meows me. I'm like, sure, I guess, like, whatever. And the 3 Winter Cherries, which Snatchy, you want to have coverage against that matchup, and this is one of the best. And then, of course, the 5 traps. 3 Imperm, even though it's not a name or like an attribute, it's really handy against like the mirrors of stuff. And then like the Vanquish trap, which is like really well because essentially going first, like game 1, you only face Furlos most of the time and not Perulia. But in game 2 and 3 you can face Perulia more often. So you want to have like a better out to that or like a way to play around that. Which I feel like the trap is for me. And the anti-spell of course against all the Mitsurugi variants running around. So thank you all for watching this profile. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you learned a little bit something. Just like I said, I didn't make this list, but I at least want to like give you my view on it. So thank you very much and have a nice